Hi and welcome, my name is Deita and you're watching Deita TV, but I would like to welcome back Jayne Bradshaw.
Hi.
Welcome. Jayne has come back from Vegas after her international pageant win for Miss Regency International, or Mrs. Regency International. But first of all, I would like to say a huge thank you to Browns-Over Hall Hotel for having us, and we're actually in their bar area and it's just stunning. So please have a quick look at Browns-Over Hall Hotel. It's a beautiful location. Definitely worth to check it out. So Jayne.
Hi.
Hello, my lovely.
Hello again.
How are you?
Oh my God, yeah, on just cloud nine. I'm ecstatic, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I haven't quite come back down to earth.
Okay, so let's just like level it out. So what has happened in your life the past couple of months? Because I know you've been to Vegas.
Yeah. And
you won your very first international Mrs. Regency International pageant, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
So tell me because obviously we filmed a few months ago, and that was your kind of running up to the pageant.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened. You went to Vegas.
I did. So I started off doing the Mrs. Diamond competition, which I won, and it meant that I was able to represent the UK in the Mrs. Regency International. So in the summer, I went over to Vegas. I've been back now the last couple of weeks to go and compete and represent for the UK, and I've come back with the crown. I've actually won a world crown.
That's beautiful.
So I'm just so thrilled.
Yeah. Well, you worked really, really hard, didn't you?
Yeah.
So just tell me some of the things that you did to kind of get to that point.
Oh, lots. So I've been doing charity work, which has been ongoing since winning the competition. So I've been raising money for Coventry and Warwickshire Mines, which is a charity for mental health. Mm-hmm. I've also been and done a visit at their local hub, so I can see how the young adults are using that charity money and to see how it benefits them.
But that's really rewarding though as well, isn't it?
It was. And do you know, they were so excited when they knew I was coming.
I'm not surprised.
And they were wishing me luck in Vegas, and it was just so nice to be part of that and to sort of see where the money's being raised. So I know that they're completely grateful for all of that work. And now that I've won the Mrs, I'm going to be continuing to do that work, the Mrs International. So I'm using this as a platform to continue to raise thousands of pounds, because we have got just over £2,500 for them so far, which is fantastic. Brilliant. And then I've been doing community work projects. So I've always been helping out my dad. He's a very keen conservationist. He does it as his job. And I've always been part of the little projects that he's been doing. So I've been doing those around some of the local areas in Rugby, and I've also been collecting plastic bottle tops, which I know family, friends, my school, which is the George Eliot School in Nuneaton, they have been amazing. They have been putting in their plastic bottle tops on a daily basis in this bucket at lunchtime.
So you've got everyone involved then?
Everyone, and because of that I actually won the community award as well. So it was another side award which I won.
Oh, that's brilliant. And the thing is as well, the nice thing is you haven't stopped that, it's carried on.
Yeah.
You know, that's wonderful. So, you went to Vegas. What went on in that week?
Oh, well, we decided to...
Because you didn't just turn up on the day,
no.
and there was a lot going on.
There is a lot, yeah. You don't just turn up on the day. So it's a 3-day sort of preparation build up to the finals. But my mum came with me. She came and shared the adventure, and we decided it was the first time both of us had actually been to the States as well. So we kind of extended it because we thought, being jet lagged, we can kind of
you got it, haven't you?
feel our feet, and experience Vegas and America itself. So we did that. So we had a little bit of a holiday before, and then we arrived on the Monday, and then on the Friday we did a meet and greet, and it was fantastic. It was the Gatsby night. Mm-hmm. So we all got dressed up in our 1920s, and the
costume cabin?
That's the one.
The costume cabin.
I had a moment there, couldn't remember. The costume cabin lent me the headpiece, which was fantastic. It had big feathers. They lent me the velvet gloves. And so I had all the accessories to take with me. So I've got to say a big thank you, because they were all talking about this headpiece because they'd all gone with these like, you know,
the really
the
little
bands
thin
with
ones,
the feathers and everything
and
coming
you've
out, and
gone-
I'd gone in with this big feather piece. So that was really lovely.
Well, it's either go big or go home.
That's right. Got to meet all the girls for the first time at this Gadsby evening, and that was great because we got to meet them from all the age groups were there. So because there was different age categories.
Because there were some quite young ones there as well, wasn't
Yeah,
there? So
there
they
were.
kind of went through the age
was
ranks.
so tiny. But yeah, it was great. We got to go around. They did a Facebook live feed as well where we had to introduce ourselves. So it was quite nice about listening to the names and where they've come from. And we also give gifts. So for the Mrs. category, I had a gift to give them, which was something traditional from back home. And when I went to the seaside before going to America, I found these little plates. And it was rock, and of course rock is very traditional in the UK. There's no other candy anywhere else in the world like it. It is very British. But they did fish, chips and peas. So I was like, well, fish, chips and peas is British.
Yeah,
then
definitely.
What more than a quirky gift to give them? So it was quite funny because when I gave these gifts, it kind of helped with the conversation and getting to know them. So I give this plate, this rock, and they were like, oh, thank you. And they kind of looked.
Suppose you've got to give the
I was like,
explanation then, haven't
oh,
you?
it's fish, chips and peas, which is traditional. And one of them cracked me up. I'm not going to say who it is. One of them cracked me up. They were like, oh, so it's dried fish? I was like, no, I haven't brought back dried fish because it would be smelling really bad right now. No, it's rock. It's like a candy. I had to explain it's like a candy. You can eat it. It's fine. It's not going to kill you.
A good icebreaker then.
It was a really good icebreaker. And then they did the revealing of the crown. So I've got my head. So they did the revealing of the crown. And then we had ice cream. We had soda. It was just a really great night. So that's what happened on Friday. And then on the Saturday, we had a look at the venue where the competition was going to be held, and we did rehearsals. So we did that sort of during the day, late afternoon, because
were they full dress rehearsals those days, or was it you just
no,
just a rehearsal, just find your feet? Where...
Yeah, and actually I prefer that one because it kind of goes quicker, and two, actually you want to give that wow factor on the night when you're wearing your outfits rather than.
Oh, I can understand that, yeah.
And as lovely as they are, you still got that competition element and, you know, and being competitive. So I wouldn't want them to see what I was wearing until the night because you can change things.
Because it still is, as much as everyone's lovely and friendly, it's still a competition.
Yeah,
you're still there. You're still there to win, aren't
you? You're, everyone is there to win the crown. And as much as you come out and you make friends, you're there to win. And so it wasn't a full dress rehearsal, but it was nice just to get a feel of the space and the stage. But it was quite scary because I was first on in the opening round out of everybody. But
that's normally a good thing though.
Yeah, it is.
First or last, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was first and last. So I was first on, last off. And then we had this white dress that we had to wear, like a white outfit, but it wasn't allowed to be a full evening gown. So the opening scene was a white dress, and then you had a local entertainer there. He's really well known, and he's playing his guitar and he's singing whilst we're walking out. It was very traditional American, lovely to come out to the music. And then we had fashion wear, which. It isn't an evening gown, but it's something that represents your personality. So, for example, some girls might wear a full bodysuit with like a wraparound skirt, so it's open at the front and you can kind of play around with the skirt. Some people have something similar, but it would be like a jumpsuit rather than a.
Oh, right. Okay.
And some will wear a full jumpsuit, catsuit, with extra material coming behind as well. But I went for something completely different. So I did my research, did something a bit different. And then it's your full evening gown. So they're the outfits that we wear. And then on the Sunday, we arrived really early, got ready, hair, makeup, and then before we know it, we're on stage and it's the finals and it's being televised.
But again, you had an interview, because every pageant that you go to, from what I gather as well, you always have an interview before the show, is that right?
Yeah.
And how did that go?
Yeah. It was a really different interview. It went really well. I've had some really positive feedback from the judges. You know,
because you've said in the past that's actually quite a crucial part of the pageant, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just kind of standing up on stage and walking around with a obviously beautiful gown, and you know you're showing yourself off, but obviously, you know, you're having a conversation with these judges, and they're trying to get to know you, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
I'm finding it's more important with all the pageants now. It is such a crucial bit, because you're finding out about that person. What are their platforms? What have they been doing? You know, what do they do as a career, or if they're a student, where do they see themselves kind of in 5-10 years time? So it is really important, and I really enjoy doing the interview. But I couldn't work this one out for the life of me. So I finished having this interview, and I've come out, and then I was the last one. So of course I'm pacing up and down, and you can imagine that you can see everyone going in, coming out, and you're asking them how did it go. They're like, oh yeah, really well, and that's making you feel more nervous. And I'm still pacing up and down, and then I then had to take myself away on my own for a little while, trying to get myself
yourself a bit, yeah,
together before going in. And it was a standing up interview. So I'd never done a standing up interview before, but it isn't. They actually look at your posture and what you do with your hands as well. So they're looking at that as well as on the interview.
Because normally I'm all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I said I'm really expressive with my hands, you know, but they said, you know, I basically got given some tips. So I knew what to not do with my hands. But
pointing is one of them, isn't it? You shouldn't point.
Yeah, but also having like your hands behind your back. You shouldn't do that.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but you should have your...
So you learned quite a few little pointers there.
Yeah, I did. So like sort of how you're standing, where you put your hands. Yes, you can be expressive, but you've got to try and pick your time with your hands. But I couldn't tell at all from their facial expressions. You know, when you're trying to gauge, and I'm trying to give each one of them.
Well, they're in Vegas. They had their poker face on.
Yeah, they did. They did. When I came out, and then they asked me how did it go, I said, well, I've answered all the questions, but I genuinely don't know. I haven't got a feel. And then you go off and you do this other interview, which is far more relaxed at the end, with some of the current winners that are going to be handing their crowns over. And that's very much like how we are now, and you're having a bit of a laugh and a joke, and you're talking about some of the bits. It's a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
But the feedback, I mean, the judges, one of them, Sasha, she came running up on the stage, and she's like, you absolutely smashed your interview.
Wow.
And
that's nice to hear, though, isn't it?
It is really nice to hear. I got asked a very difficult question.
What was that
then? So basically asking me like things like what I've been doing, what I do as my role in terms of work. And then they kind of went on, and they noticed my interview outfit. Now that's the other thing, you get judged on what you wear. And I know that they're really strict, so what I chose to wear I thought was a bit of a risk, but I thought, no, this is...
In what way, though?
This is me, because they very much suit. As if you were going for an actual job interview. So they didn't want to see you in a cocktail dress, or, in a party outfit, or in your jeans.
Do you think that's so it doesn't kind of distract, really?
I think it's to show how serious the interview round is. They want you to treat it as serious as what you would for a job interview. So I wore pinstripe trousers, a really nice stiff white shirt, but what made it different was I chose to wear red braces and a trilby hat, because I'm a bit of a tomboy at heart.
The thing is as well, you want to show your personality off, don't you?
Yeah. I like wearing bright colours, that kind of like the red bit. I like to be a bit quirky every now and then. I like to be different. I'm not always one to follow the fashion, and I'm not bothered either about what people think. Normally I get a really positive reaction from what I wear, but I also thought it was quite good to wear the typical workman's class back in the day, in Britain. That is the kind of outfit that they would wear to try and reflect that I'm a tomboy, but I can also be a strong female at the same time wearing this kind of outfit. So anyway, they asked me about this outfit, and that was my explanation. And I said, well, I'm really pleased that you asked me about it. And then this was the question. They then said, another judge said, so if you were to be reborn, a man or a woman, what would you be? Now that would probably throw so many people off, but I actually responded quite quickly and said, well, if I was to be reborn, I wouldn't choose. I would happily accept whoever I am, like I do now.
Yeah.
I accept the fact that I am a female. I was born a female, but at the same time, I like to represent the fact that I'm also a tomboy, and I think that makes me a stronger female, and that is what I'm trying to portray.
Yeah. I'm really trying to emulate.
Yeah, and I think the answer kind of threw them. They weren't expecting that. I think they were expecting that to kind of take me off guard a little bit, but I was really confident with my answer, and I just spoke from the heart.
But well, you just got to be yourself, haven't you?
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about. If you're not yourself, and people will see through that.
Definitely, they will.
Yeah. So, now you've won your first international pageant.
Yeah.
What now? Where do you go now? I mean, what duties are you gonna be performing? Or
well,
will it send you across the world?
Well, I mean, it will kind of, because I've got to go back to Vegas to hand over my crown, but
that's next year though.
That's next year. I've won a cruise to Mexico.
Oh wow!
So that's given me a bit more travelling, but I'm hoping to do a lot around the UK. So I have been recently doing some articles in the newspaper, sort of saying if there's anybody that wants to get me involved in any project work or to come and open up any events, then to get in contact with me.
And it's a great springboard as well.
Yeah, definitely. And continuing my charity and my project work, that's not going to just stop. That's going to carry on, you know, to help those charities and people. And then also, I think for myself, it's been a massive confidence boost for me. A lot of people who know me, right from school through to work, I think I come across as a really confident person, which I am in some ways, but I kind of did lose my confidence a little bit along the way, and I think this has given me a massive confidence. Do you think that sometimes
life gets in the way a bit?
I think so.
You just kind of get on with things. And
and it was one of the reasons why I've got back into this, because I needed to find myself again, and pageants has always done that for me. It's kept me busy, and
pageantry has also opened up, hasn't it? It's opened up so many other doors. Like, I mean, many years ago they didn't have the Mrs. title.
No.
And how fabulous that yes, you're married. It doesn't stop you from you know, doing what you want to do. And it's how lovely that the Mrs. pageant has actually kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it's given so many other people so many more opportunities, like yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, there are restrictions with the age groups with the Miss when I was doing those. But I mean, even for like older women that want to get themselves back out there again and just feel glamorous and have the excuse to put on an evening gown.
You get to a certain age, it doesn't mean you stop feeling beautiful, you know, or wanting to, you know, look glamorous or whatever. That never stops, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't one of the oldest and I wasn't one of the youngest. I mean, there was a really lovely young lady there that was in her early 20s, married, got a child, you know. And again, with a lot of the Miss titles, you can't be married and you can't have children. So again, it gives them
so many people do miss out on that as well.
Yeah, and just because some of them are married, or if they're single mums, you know, for the Ms categories, it you know, and say modelling or acting or anything that they just want to try and get out there, it doesn't stop them from doing it. They again can use that as a platform to promote themselves. So in terms with myself, yes, I know what I'm going to do to help other people, but for myself, I would like to get myself out as much as possible now, get back into the modelling world, maybe do some commercial modelling, which is very much sort of like my niche, and just see what happens. Just get myself out there and see what happens.
It's good for you as well, because you've got such, you know, it's been such an achievement as well. I mean, you've worked so hard for it, and it's so nice to see that all your hard work has actually paid off. Yeah,
just so when you get that crown on your head, it's an incredible feeling. But then to be told that you've won from a top level, you know, a world level, is just outstanding. You don't know what goes on in your head, and you don't know quite how to react. You obviously
kind of almost compute it.
Yeah, you're like, really? Is my name just? Have I really just won? So yeah, it's just an incredible feeling, and I'm absolutely thrilled. And I can't thank everybody enough who has been supporting me. I know that I've got my Facebook page Jayne with a Y -Louise. I've been keeping people up to date with things that have been going on there, and for everybody that's been voting for me, because I won the voting award, so it was an Extra Side award. So thank you so much. And it was that was just incredible people to know how many people are incredible feeling to know how many people are supporting you and getting right behind you, you know, locally, and people that I've just met from around the globe. So.
Well, that's honestly a huge congratulations, Jayne. How wonderful for rugby to have Mrs. Regency International 2017, and she's all ours.
Yay! And I'm proud rugby local girl, you know, so I'm just
rugby
thrilled.
is very proud of you too, my lovely.
Thank you.